Okay, welcome guys to School of Ministry graduation! We are here to celebrate the honor of the class of spring 2021. You guys have done so well. We are so proud of you. This night is about you guys. And so to get started, we're going to start with about 15, 20 minutes of worship, and then we're going to go from there. So, worship team, just take it away. Yes. And feel free to jump to your feet, guys, in the room. Let's worship Jesus. Come on, let's worship Him.
Yeah, Lord, we just welcome the Holy Spirit in this place right now. And we ask that joy will just be spread over each and every one of you tonight. And that we'll have a good time worshiping our great God. Everybody clap your hands. Everlasting and strong. God, you look and on. Time and again, we know your kindness. Peace that lasts beyond the night. Hope that never leaves the fire. Time and again, your love surrounds us. Faithful in the fire, faithful in the flood. Your love keeps coming, it won't give up. Faithful in the battle, you are strong enough. Your love won't stop. God, your goodness never leaves. There's no promise you won't keep. Time and again, you stand beside us. You're faithful in the fire, you're faithful in the blood. Your love keeps coming, it won't give up. Faithful in the battle, you are strong enough. Your love won't stop. You're faithful in the fire, you're faithful in the blood. Your love keeps coming, it won't give up. Faithful in the battle, you are strong enough. Your love won't stop. Thank you for the heavens that are open wide. Thank you for the rivers that will not run dry. Thank you for the blessing that is over my life, over my life, over my life. Thank you that you're faithful in the mystery. Thank you that you're working when I cannot see. Thank you that your love has got a hold on me. Hold on me, hold on me. Thank you for the heavens that are open wide. Thank you for the river that will not run dry. Thank you for the blessing that is over my life, over my life, over my life. Thank you that you're faithful in the mystery. Thank you that you're working when I cannot see. Thank you that your love has got a hold on me, hold on me, hold on me. Thank you for the heavens that are open wide. Thank you for the river that will not run dry. Thank you for the blessing that is over my life, over my life, over my life. Thank you for the faithful in the mystery. Thank you that you're working when I cannot see. Thank you that your love has got a hold on me, hold on me, hold on me. Faithful in the fire, faithful in the fire. Your love keeps coming, you won't give up. Faithful in the battle, you are strong enough. Your love won't stop. Faithful miracles when you move. Such an easy thing for you to do. And you're here, it's moving right now. You are still showing up at the tomb of heaven, Lazarus. Your voice is calling me out. And right now, I know you're able. And my God, come through again. And you can do all things. You can do all things but fail. 'Cause you never lost the battle. No, you never lost the battle. And I know you never will. It's possible, Father God, Holy Ghost. You win. It's broken right now. Breaking my heart's door. Taking over like it's Jericho. My walls are all crashing down. And right now, I know you're able. My God, to come through again. You can do all things. You can do all things but fail. 'Cause you never lost the battle. No, you never lost the battle. And I know you never will. You can do all things. You can do all things but fail. 'Cause you never lost the battle. No, you never lost the battle. I know you never will. Never lost the battle. You never lost the battle. You never lost the battle. You never will. You never lost the battle. You never lost the battle. You never lost the battle. You never will. You never lost the battle. You never lost the battle. You never lost the battle. You never will. You never will. You never lost the battle. Lost the battle. You never lost the battle. You never will. Right now, I know you're able. My God, come through again. You can do all things. You can do all things but fail. 'Cause you never lost the battle. No, you never lost the battle. And I know you never will. You can do all things. You can do all things but fail. 'Cause you never lost the battle. No, you never
Yes, Lord, it's so true. You've never lost a battle. You never will. Even when it looks like you're losing, Lord, you're winning. And Lord, you give us so much hope. And we just say tonight that we love you. And we're so glad for how you've walked us through in these last few months, the places that have been tricky. And some of them have been difficult, and some of them have just been easy. But you've walked with us through all of those things and brought us out in a good place on the other side. And we just really love you. Thank you, Lord. Amen. Let's hear it for the band. Good job, guys. That was excellent. So excellent. Well, everybody, welcome here in person and online. Everybody who's watching. This is, as Curtis has said, is the graduation, spring 2021. Yeah, we have one whoop. Nice. Let's have a whoop. It's been a crazy few months, hasn't it? Yeah. Some amazing ups and downs, and God has been faithful through it all. I'm always just amazed at how much God comes and interacts with us, both in an individual way, but just even in a corporate way. And it's so encouraging. Like, most of you don't really have the long-term perspective because you just come as students. But Kathy and I have been here. Dave has been here for quite a long time, and it's so encouraging to see. It's not just a kind of one-off, like a fluke. Like God decides, oh yeah, today I'm going to come down. Maybe a couple days I'm going to spend in the School of Ministry and do some stuff. And then I'm going to move on to some other places. It's not like that at all. And it's almost like God says, yeah, I'm going to hang out here. I'm going to hang out here for a long time. Maybe a couple decades, maybe 3 decades or more. And he just does. And it's so encouraging to see that for those of us, especially who have been here for a while. It just gives such confidence in God and who he is and what he wants to do. So obviously, one of the biggest contributors in how much movement you made in your walk with Jesus over the last few months is up to you, right? You made the commitment. Everybody here say, I made the commitment. And I made the choice. I made some moves. Yeah, you did. And you should be congratulated for that. To make some moves, not always easy. And it's easier actually to just slump back into the way that things were to go along that way. But you made some moves, so I want to congratulate you on that. It's really good. You're not in the same place you were when you came. So that's really good. Of course, it also takes often other people, right? So there are people who have supported you financially, emotionally, spiritually, people praying for you, and those people deserve some thanks as well. So let's hear it for all those people. Maybe some of them are online tonight, so we can do these things sometimes on our own, but for the most part, we need other people to help us along. So this is a good thing, a really good thing, because we are not meant to live our lives as solitary individuals doing things in our own strength. It's not just me and God, it's me and God and the community that we're a part of. So, good stuff. We are going to have a couple of testimonies tonight. Some of you have heard these testimonies before, but they're great testimonies. And basically, the idea is that these are representative of the kinds of things that God does. So I'm going to ask Jaden to come on up first.
Jaden!
Why, thank you. Hello.
Hello.
And you all look amazing. Wow. It's cool to be up here and see all you guys are here. So my name's Jaden, and my testimony goes a little bit like this. So before I came to this school, my view on life was actually pretty it was pretty negative. A
a lot of my time I spent like very miserably, and I just did like the bare minimum. A lot of like there was few things that made me like actually happy, and every day just felt the same, and it was all like it can't get any better. Like this is life. Like I'm just a number, you know. That's what I felt. That was my mentality, and then I had the opportunity to come here, and I was very skeptical, honestly, and my expectation was I could probably just sit in the back, and next thing you know, I'll be home in 3 months. And God was all like, "Oh man, I don't think so," because my life has flipped upside down, or at least like my view on life since I've been here. And there's been points where like I would wake up and be like, "Wow, I'm excited to get out of bed," and that just blew me away. And I felt a lot of self-worth come through this school, which is something I haven't felt before. Like I'm actually excited to use the gifts that God has given me, and the fact that I've acknowledged what they are, and I'm excited to bring that home, and I'm excited to see my family again.
Come on.
It's just, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. It has been such a pleasure being here and being amongst all of you, and it's really changed my life, and I just want to thank every single one of you, and I love all you guys so much. This has changed my life, and I couldn't be happier, and I love you guys so much.
So good. Well done. Well done. Olivia, come on. Yeah. That's right. Always sit close.
So my testimony goes a little like this. I didn't really have an easy childhood. My mom got in a car accident, and it kind of just shifted the way that my childhood was. I had to become an adult and help raise my little siblings when I was 12. And then, so I took on this mentality of, I have to take care of myself. I have to be independent when I was 12. And then I also got shamed for being an adult because I was a kid. So I was in this massive identity crisis of not knowing who I was and constantly feeling like I had to try and I had to do so much to be good enough and to be valued and to be important. And that went on for about 10 years. And then in 2019 in November, my mom passed away. And that kind of just triggered a lot, like an even bigger identity crisis, because I didn't have anyone speaking into me anymore, and I didn't have my mom there for me. I didn't have a mom anymore. And so then I fell into this big state of depression and anxiety and not knowing what I was going to do. And I got stuck in a funk of going to work and then going home and eating and then going to bed and just doing that day by day because I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know who I was anymore. And so I came to SOM, and I didn't want to come to SOM for a long time because I felt like, both of my sisters went. Like, I don't want to do what my sisters did. That's lame. But it's not lame, just so you know. It's really great. And just, it did change my life. God just was speaking to me a lot this SOM, just revealing who I am, and that I'm precious and loved, and that I don't have to try so hard to be myself. I don't, like, that's what I had in my mind, is that I have to try super hard to be myself so that people will love me. But did you know that being yourself is something you don't have to try to do? It's kind of just who you are. I didn't, apparently. But it's amazing the things that God can do in you, and the way that he can change your view on life and the way that you view other people. Because, like, one of the main things that happened at SOM is he completely restored all of my family relationships with my sisters, with my dad, with my stepmom. I love her so much, and I met her a year ago. Like, she's amazing. And I think one of the biggest relational shifts in my life is my older sister, Sam. I pretty much didn't talk to her for a long time because I just had so many judgments and unforgiveness held against her. And as soon as I broke that off in, like, the first month, I talked to her every single day, pretty much. I call her once a week because I love her so much, and I get to speak into her life, and she speaks into mine. And just being able to have my sister back has been so amazing. It's been really awesome. Do you want me to share more? Well, I can share pretty much really quickly. When I was little, little, my mom always called me her sunshine. That was just my nickname. And during, I think it was Identity Week, I was having a journaling session, or doing the mirror exercise, I'm not sure which one. And we were prophesying over ourselves. And one of the things I heard God say to me is, remember when your mom used to call you her sunshine? She was actually speaking a prophetic word over you, that you are a sunshine and you light up a room. And that like broke me, because I never you always think, oh, your parents tell you these nice things because they're your parents, but my mom was actually speaking words from God, and that was life-changing and really amazing.
Well done. Really good. I love that. I love the testimonies. I love to hear the stories of what God has done. Because the testimonies change what you've experienced. Your testimony changes you, but it also changes other people around you. It changes their picture of who they think God is, reinforces sometimes the things that they have already learned about God, but just puts them deeper. So I think testimonies are, they're really vital, I think, to the Christian life. And although, in life we don't always get the chance to stand up and to say, here's my testimony, I think when you're in a close community of believers, you can have those moments where you share, man, I had this dream last night, and blah, blah, blah. And God, you can share those moments, and it brings life to other people. So don't be afraid to share your journey and allow other people to share their journey with you. Speaking of journeys, Kathy and I and our kids lived in Texas, as some of you remember. You remember the story from so long ago. How many of you remember back, was it 4 months ago? Yes, good. One person remembers. Excellent. Well, we actually lived in, Kathy, you remember that? That's amazing. That was 20 years ago. Good job. So actually, we lived in Texas twice. We lived once in in Dallas. We actually lived in the richest part of Dallas, which was very bizarre as a student who had no money. It was quite bizarre. It was great. But then after we'd come back to Canada for a number of years, we went back, and this time we moved to Abilene, Texas. And there's actually a song about Abilene. It might not be this Abilene, but it's kind of a cow town. It's about 100,000 people, so it's a good size. But it's real West Texas. So sometimes there are tumbleweeds going through the main streets. There are flash floods at times. There's dust storms, which I never experienced a dust storm. Anybody been in a dust storm? Your wipers are going, but it's just mud, right? So that's all it is. It's quite fabulous. And so here, we watch the weather. There, it's all about weather. And weather's coming. So one of the things we got used to was watching for tornadoes. And so we in our house, we had this sort of student house, and so Kathy and I had this bedroom here, and there was a little hallway to Matthew's bedroom, and then a hallway that intersected, and Megan's room was over here. And there was this one night where there was this kind of tapping on the windows, and I didn't really know what was happening. It was pretty clear it was raining, but actually maybe it wasn't quite rain, and maybe it was hail. And so Kathy and I got up, and I don't remember getting the kids out of their bed, but we obviously, did we do that? We didn't. Oh, they must have slept through it or something. And that tapping got louder and louder and louder, and so it was this amazingly loud sound banging against the sides and the roof of the house. And so we did what we normally do. If there's a tornado, we go down that second hall, and we get in a little closet, and there's a little door there, and we plug in our TV to watch. And one time, I don't know if it was this time, but we were watching the weather as a tornado was going up the street behind us. I don't know if it was that time or not, but anyway, this strange thing happens is we're looking down the hall, we can see, this stereotypical golf ball sized hail, really that big, going past, down the other hall into Matthew's bedroom. And what happened was that the hail was so sharp that it broke the window, bounced off our waterbed, and was bouncing down and rolling down the hallway. And so we would just see this progression of golf ball sized hail going down into Matthew's bedroom. It was very, very bizarre. And I don't remember I didn't feel very afraid of that, even although it was really, really loud. We did jump out of bed, and it was a good thing because the window broke right onto her side of the bed, so it was a good thing. But in the morning, of course, we got up. Every house had broken windows on that side of their house, and there were dead, branches all over the ground, including dead birds and squirrels. Wildlife just wiped out. And my car had multiple dents in it. It was just really unfortunate. But weather was a thing. You had to cope with weather. And I think about the fact that we had lots of storms, and we had to learn how to cope with those. And mostly it was okay. There were a few frightening moments in our history being there of trying to cope with it. But when I think about this last year and a half, what we've all kind of gone through, there are a lot of storms that have been happening, a lot of chaotic moments. Obviously, COVID is the big one, but underneath that umbrella, we've had the U.S. presidential elections, which were so full of junk. It was unbelievable. We've had, the sort of George Floyd sparking the sort of unrest about racial injustice. Even right now, I don't know if you know this, but there's this outcry because they're finding these graves. Some were marked, some are unmarked graves around Canada's residential schools. So a number of years ago, the government and a number of church bodies decided that they would build these residential schools, and they forcibly took First Nations children to live in these residential schools in order to kind of, I suppose, bring them into the modern world. I guess that was the kind of idea, and really pretty much backfired. And now they're finding these graves around the sites, and the reaction, of course, understandably, is not pretty. And one of the things about all the storms is that we've been going through as we're watching is how people have reacted to the storms. And it's that as much as the storms, the reaction of people in this world has been in some ways natural, but in some ways disturbing, as disturbing as the things that have been happening themselves. All you have to do is go into social media and hear the kind of responses that people are making. Watch the news. There have been riots, of course, have been the worst things, I suppose. But just even the language that have been used. And what is most disquieting is that some of that have been from Christians and Christian leaders, people that we might have even looked up to at times. And we know that this is not Jesus. And we know this because we know literally what it was like for Jesus to go through a storm. Do you remember what Jesus did when he was going through a storm? He slept. Remember, the disciples of Jesus are going across the Sea of Galilee, and there's a big storm, and the disciples, even though 4 of them are, they're pretty experienced people in a boat on that sea. But it's so bad that they're terrified. They think they're going to drown. And when they look at Jesus, Master, what are you doing having a nap? Jesus is napping while the storm is going on. And their reaction is, don't you care that we're going to die? Well, of course he does, but he knows they're not going to die, I suppose. I wonder if in later years the disciples looked back on that and thought, we should have taken a cue from what Jesus was doing. We should have not been worried because he wasn't worried. If he was pretty confident in what God was going to do, if his soul was at rest in the Father, then maybe we shouldn't have been so worried about that. And I bet that they did that. And what I want to say to you is that the world needs people who, like you, know Jesus. They know Jesus. They have a taste of Jesus and are centered in Jesus and have faith in Jesus, take their cue from Jesus to such a degree that the storms don't push them into these un-Christ-like positions and language. And I'm not saying that we're all there yet. I'm pretty much there, but no. And you should laugh because that's just not true. I'm not there. Some of you are probably farther ahead than I am in that whole storm thing. But the reality is that what you've tasted here, in terms of how you've met God and you've seen him in a new way and experienced his love, those are the seeds from which we begin to live more like Jesus, who's napping during the storm, than the disciples who are freaking out. And I think I want to encourage you to take what you have, what God has invested in you, what you've grasped now, grow in those things so you become much more like Jesus than the disciples were at that point. Obviously, they did better, didn't they? I mean, some of them were crucified, so they weren't that worried about the storm. Some of them were singing while they were in prison. That's the kind of people we want to be. But I think it starts here. It starts this kind of thing with a Father who loves us and Jesus who's close, and an intimacy that we can have with him. So I just want to encourage you guys, what you've gotten, keep going in that journey. The journey doesn't end, tomorrow 12:30 after you've packed up. The journey is just taking a new step. Okay, so I encourage you to do that. Let's graduate some people. So we're going to have Abby's group come first.
Please.
I'm just changing the order. Come on, Abby. And Abby's group.
Come, Abby's group. Otherwise known as almost all the girls. Almost all of them. Yeah, come this way. They're afraid of the camera, but they're coming. Amazing. Aren't they beautiful? They're beautiful. Thank you. Well, ladies, it has been an absolute privilege getting to be your SGL at this school. Honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better group of girls, such a big group of girls. But you guys have all been so amazing, and I have loved being your leader from day one. I love the amount of humor that we get to have in small group, all of our great chats and giggles, but also how you guys have all been super real throughout this whole school. I've seen each and every one of you go after what God has for you, and I've seen each and every one of you go a step deeper in your vulnerability, not just with God, but with one another, and also with everybody else in this school. You guys are amazing. Each and every single one of you are leaders, and I'm very proud to have been your SGL throughout this entire school. So it's with great honor that I begin to graduate each and every one of you, starting with the beautiful Mona. Mona, you are a powerhouse of a woman. You are absolutely gorgeous, and I've seen you really come into this school being like, I want to know God more. I want to get a deeper relationship with him. And I'm not satisfied with what I had from my last school. I want to go that one step deeper, and you have done that. I have seen you pursue him. I have seen you host Holy Spirit like no other, and I've seen you throw off any fear of man that you had when you came into this school and literally kill it on the Encounter Live, speaking in front of people. You are called to be a leader, and you're an absolutely beautiful and loving, compassionate woman. And I'm very excited to see you in the future. Next up, the beautiful Tamara. She knew I was looking directly at her. It's you and the eye contact thing, right? Tamara. From the day one of this school, your heart has been, I just want to hear God's voice. I want to be near him. I want that intimacy with him. And you have not stopped going after that this entire school. No matter what disappointment has come your way, you have fought against it, you have pushed it, and you have received the things that you have been looking for. And I know that the rest of it that God is figuring out, you're going to receive that too, because you're a woman of determination, and you're a woman of absolute beauty, and I just can't wait to see what God's going to do with you. Seriously, you're going to rock the arts community. I cannot wait to see what happens with dance. You're absolutely beautiful, and it's been a pleasure being your SGL. I love the vulnerability you always share in the group, so thank you. Next up, Nomi. watching you go deeper into your heart this school. I know you came to the school saying that like I want to go more for compassion. I want to go more for like hearing God for other people. And I really feel like I've seen you do that this school. You have opened up your heart. You've gone to like the next level, gone for vulnerability. And I've seen you even like in your flow in worship, when you are flowing with the Spirit, like, and just see that you've really gone that next level deeper with God and next level deeper with that compassion that you've been going after. And it's absolutely beautiful to watch you. You're a leader in the making, and I can't wait to see what God does with you when you're in this school.
Come on.
Yeah. Jadelle. Small but mighty. Honestly, when you came to this school, you're like, I'm shy. No, you are not. You have a loud voice, and like that voice needs to be heard. And I have seen you step into that boldness and step into that leader that God made you to be throughout this school. I'm so, so, so proud of you, not just for the way that you've stepped up in leadership with all the girls and everybody here in this building, but from the way that you said that you stepped up in leadership within your own family, sharing what you've learned, speaking with them, and actually really going for it even more so. So you're going to do amazing. I can't wait to hear the music that you're going to be working on.
Yeah.
Sneaky you too. You are fantastic, and God's going to bless you so much. I can't wait to see it happen. Love you. Asia. Girl, you are a powerhouse. And honestly, I'm so proud of you coming into school being like, I hate crying, and coming out of it being like, I don't care, whatever Holy Spirit wants to give me, I'm all for it. Honestly, it has been such a pleasure being your leader and watching you actually go after Holy Spirit for the next level and saying, like, last time I was here for friends, and this time I was here for God. And it's really evident this school. I have seen such a transformation in your heart, such a transformation in your life. And I know God's not done with you yet. Just as he told you, welcome to your new life. Welcome to your new life. You're going to love it. You're amazing. You're powerful. You're a leader. And I also can't wait for that album drop that's coming out. No, last but not least, Olivia. Girl, you're like a little sister to me. And I love being your SGL. You're such a leader. You're such a leader. And you have so many things to be proud about in this school. You have gone for it. You have said, nothing's getting in my way. I came for a reason. You said it right from the day one. I came for a reason, and I'm going to get what God has promised me. And I've seen you go after that and been ruthless about it, just being like, nope, that's not getting in my way. That's not getting in my way. I don't want to do that, but I'm going to do it because God said I'm going to get something out of this. And honestly, like, those kinds of things can be so scary. But you have been so strong. You have been so diligent. And you've gone after it with everything you had. And I really do believe that you didn't just get the things that God promised you, but you got extra. And I can't wait to see where you go. Your future is so bright. You're going to kill it in university. And no matter where you go, Liv, you're a leader. Love all my beautiful girls. They're amazing. All right.
Luis.
Luis and the boys.
All
right, y'all, get on over there. Yes, Michael, you are included in this. Give it up for the guys. Everybody. Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, man. Look at you legends. They're all so snazzy. Look at that. Awesome.
Oh, wow.
Wow, you guys. Just, wow. I know it's incredible. Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and get started with Walter. Walter, when you came into the school of ministry, you were hungry and you knew that you needed an encounter with God and to have him transform you. Now he has not only met you and satiated you, but has completely transformed you and who you are in the process. The man I see now is completely different than the one I met 3 months ago. You have chosen to go deep into the parts of your heart and your soul that might not be too pleasant to walk into, but you've gone in following the Lord,
knowing that his plans for you are good and you have reaped the harvest of your sowing. And you have taken on joy. You have taken on this life and this vitality that is in you. And it's been so beautiful to see as your small group leader, whether it's in small group or it's outside small group, seeing you going and hanging out with people and talking, making connections, relationships, and really like investing everything in worship sets. You even leading from the stage for the first time, you have taken risk after risk after risk, man. And it's been absolutely incredible to watch. You have come so far. I'm proud of you, and I'm honored to be your leader. I love you, man. Awesome. Next, David. Give it up for David, everybody. David, during this whole school and even before it, it was clear that you had a passion and a longing for the Lord that stood out. As you've pressed on throughout the school, you took that heart for that connection with God and for that desire for breakthrough, and you just freaking ran with it, man. It's been an honor to support you as you receive breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. And as you continue to become the man that you have always been. The growth in you to choose to walk into this childlike heart and embrace this joy and this wild and rambunctious nature that God has placed in you has been so, so beautiful. And that journey is one that's going to affect you for the rest of your life. It's going to affect each and every person around you for the rest of your life. As you go on from this place, from this school, into the next season, and into the one after that, into the one after that, this might be prophetic, but I feel like you will be known as David the Joyful. And so I just speak that over you. I'm proud of you, and well done. All right. Jaden. Jaden, the transformation I've seen in you over the course of this school has been incredible, in all caps. It's been such a privilege to see the joy in life enter back into your eyes and your heart. And now you are clearly full of life, full of joy, and most importantly, full of God. You are a transformed man, Jaden. And it's been an honor to be your small group leader. You, like you said in your testimony earlier tonight, are now seeing things with optimism. You're being excited to start your day and to do things rather than dreading it. And that is so, so incredibly powerful. And that is such a blessing that God has given to you because He wants you to enjoy your life fully and completely. The reason we're made is to be loved by God. And you are now stepping into that. And by you doing that, just naturally on your own, in your own journey, is going to be something that inspires those around you, your friends, your families, even like your acquaintances or people who don't even know you are going to see you and see you be so full of life and full of this joy and the truth of who you are and your identity. And that's going to inspire them to be like, I want to be more like myself, like Jaden is. Jaden is such a solid and grounded guy. I want to be like that. And I'm not just saying that, it's like, oh, hopefully this will be you in the future, but no, I already see it in you. You've already become that. And you already have grown so much in that journey from the start of this school. So I'm proud of you. And it's been an honor to be your small group leader. And I want to say, well done. LaShawn. Can y'all guess who I'm going to begin with? LaShawn the legend. Yes, I say that quite a bit, but the reason I say it is because it is true. LaShawn, you are a legend, and it's clear that you're going to carry that legacy with you, and that you will transform life after life after life going forward. During this school, you've gone deeper and deeper. You've asked the hard questions and walked through the dark parts of your soul. But now you are reaping the harvest of each and every step that you've taken into those areas. You are hearing God like never before, and your faith in God, like you are a man of faith. Let me tell you, at the beginning of the school, already you are a man of faith. But even like now, like if you can compare the two, it's like, oh my goodness, like this is like such more of a man of faith. Like that was a man of faith, but this is like even to another extreme. And that is so, so inspiring. You have inspired me to chase after God, to be more committed to Him, and to bring Him into every part of my life, and just be this. Whenever something comes up, go straight to God, because that's what you do. And even if times are hard, or it's confusing, or you don't understand what's going on, you have still chosen to go to God, to go get help. And through that, you have been completely transformed and completely renewed. You are already at an incredible spot. When I met you, it blew me away. You blew me away. But now, like I don't have the words to describe it, how much you blew me away. And so I am proud of you. You've come so, so far. I want to say well done, LaShawn the legend. Justice, you've grown so dang much this school. I've said it before, but you are a completely different man. The man that I met back in September with your first heart module school. And now you have grown into a man who is passionate, into a man who takes initiative, who leads, and who is full of the Holy Spirit. Seeing that journey has been absolutely incredible. I remember one of the first days of the first weeks of this last school, we were talking over in Lounge 1. I was getting to know you a little bit. I was like, oh, like this guy's like awesome. Like he's a great guy. But as we've continued through last school and through this school, even like there's so many things I can point to that is evidence of your change and your growth and your transformation. You take the lead on so much. You, rather than choosing just to sit in the back all the time, you have taken that step forward to take the initiative, to be assertive, and to lead, and people have followed you. And that is incredible. It's a gift that God has given to you, your ability to lead, and your ability to lead with the Holy Spirit. And an amazing testimony that you have shared many times is that this school you've been able to truly, truly experience the power of the Holy Spirit and to encounter Him. And that has been absolutely amazing. And whether it was that one worship set where it really wrecked you, where God came in and touched your heart, or any worship set or God time afterwards, I have been able to witness you going in deeper with God and going in deeper with the Holy Spirit. And He is just continuing to renew and renovate and make new again the deep parts of your soul and your spirit. And that has been absolutely incredible to see. It's been such a privilege to be your small group leader as you've gone through that journey. You have come so far. I'm proud of you, and well done. Love you, man. And last but not least, Michael. Everybody give it up for Michael. It's good to see you. Michael, what an incredible man you are. Truth be told, we haven't been able to connect the most this school due to, the Rona. However, that hasn't prevented your transformation and growth and breakthrough. And even though we had limited contact, mostly through a Zoom call, which sometimes you couldn't hear through, I've still been able to see the transformation, the growth, and the change in your character, in your spirit, and who you are, your identity. You've gone on to lead with such a power online, to learn from such incredible and wild mentors. Like there was one small group you couldn't make it to because you were calling Steve Long. I was like, oh, dang, okay, yeah, do that. That's incredible. I was like, awesome, great, that's just what Michael does. It was awesome. And with like all of that, you've chosen to take it and run after God in each and every single moment. And that has been absolutely incredible. You're amazing, man. And yeah, I'm so proud of you and pressing on and pressing in, even when situations have not been the most ideal. For instance, when you're in advanced and you can't hear anything through the Zoom call because it's being weird, but you have nonetheless chosen to continue on and to press through rather than just check out and be like, I'm not going to engage in this anymore. And you can see the difference. I'm proud of you. You have come so far this school, Michael. I want to say well done. I love you. Wonderful. Everybody, David Monet.
I would like to invite Luis, Anna, and Corey to make your way to the front. And you guys give it a round of applause for these guys. If you've been impacted by any of these guys, just give a big shout. Feeling close to the school, I'd like to start with Corey. Corey, if you want to make your way. Corey, I want to say a big thank you for your heart in the school, how open you've been. And I don't know if you know with life languages, but Corey, you're probably the first person I meet who is 98% mover.
Oh my God.
98% mover. You know what that means? It means like action constantly. And he showed by, you came to the school when you saw the word father, and one event the school did. You saw the word father, boom, you sign up. And this is beautiful, this is amazing, but the word father attracted you to come here. And I want to honor you because I've seen you really going after the Father, letting him put his arms around you and learning to be a little girl for him. And it's oozing out of you. I've seen the transformation from the beginning to the end. And I want to say, I want to honor you for one big word, is humility. I've seen you being humble and just wanting to learn and being so open and so hungry. So big well done. You've done super well. And on top of that, I think you gave a lot. So if any of you guys have been blessed by Corey, would you just stand and just give a big shout out? To bless everybody. Everybody has been impacted by you here, so thank you so much. Well, congratulations. Anna, we start with this. Anna and Luis together. How about you guys come? Yes, nice to meet you guys. You came at the beginning, you stayed for a few weeks, and it felt you were family from the beginning. You're extremely relational people, and everybody, as soon as, because of restrictions, you had to stay home and do everything online. You make a big hole here. Everybody felt it. And it's just because your heart is so big. And at the same time, the main thing I want to honor you, the two of you guys for, is hunger. If there's one word that defines you guys, is hunger. I do a lot of the reading applications, and if there's one big thing we look for, is hunger. And I think you're probably the hungriest people I've met. And I want to honor you for that, but I want as well to commend you to never lose that hunger. That's what drives us closer to the Father. That's what drives the Holy Spirit. And you guys are world changers. Like I can see the humility you have to come and learn, and that hunger will lead you to change the world. I can see you doing it already, but there's so much more coming. So thank you so much for being so perseverant online as much as in person. It's so nice to have you back in the building. So Love you guys. Thanks so much. Excellent. Give a big round of applause to all of you guys for being so exciting. And come back home.
That was great. Congratulations, guys. You did good. You did good. Well, a long time ago, we used to have a 2-year Bible program. It's called Spirit Ablaze Bible Institute. I think we tried Spirit Alive Bible Institute, but then somebody emailed us and said, "Hey, that's the name of my TV show. You can't take that." So, okay. So Spirit Ablaze, and so it was a 2-year Bible program, and it got shortened to 1 year, and then it got shortened to several modules, and now it's the advanced module. But John Arnott, he always felt like we needed to have something, a 2-year diploma, because we actually wanted people not necessarily to just come and leave. We wanted people to have the time and space to sort of marinate in our culture, our values, etc. So we have a 2-year diploma, which most of you probably didn't know about. And there is one person in this room who is not quite at the 2 years, but we're going to preempt that, and that would be Jakob. So basically, the way things are set out now, come on up here, is that you have to do a heart module, advanced or worship, which we're not running worship right now, and also perhaps an internship for a year, and that's what Jakob has done. So, congratulations. You did good. And I would just say as well that Jakob has really, it's not just about a piece of paper, but the journey that he's been on from his first school. There were some bumps in first school, weren't there? And but he genuinely had an open heart to learn, and to take the bumps and the bruises and to learn from those and to grow. And so it's with pleasure that we give that to you, because you've been on the path, and this is a great path you're on. So well done.
Well done,
Yeah. So small group leaders, stand up. Abby and Lewis. You all know that Curtis and Abby are off to Australia sometime in the next 2 months.
No, not until.
Yeah, in the next couple months, yeah, before September, hopefully is what you're trying, right? And so it's sad we don't get to have you hanging around a bit more, but you're going off on a new adventure.
See you over there. Yeah.
See you over there, that's right. I just want to thank you, both of you, for giving your hearts over and over and over again to all of these guys and to us, and really pastoring the people in this room. I really appreciate it, and I know the Lord does as well. So well done, guys. It's been a pleasure actually to have you on the team and to know you more and to be in your lives and you be in our lives. So thank you very much. If you like this one leader, $20 bills will be accepted by them. The Pentecostal handshake, that's right. Or $100 bills, because they'll never get a tithe. Curtis, go ahead and stand up. We created the pastoral leader position in order to provide another level of leadership above what the small group leader program, if I can call that, their experience is. And it is different. It's a different kind of thing. Especially in this school, there was a lot of organization. And Curtis took that on and did a really good job with that, as well as sort of, how sometimes it's hard to shift gears inside as well. So he shifted gears quite well away from that sort of, I have to keep things running and organized, to how do I connect with with the small leaders' hearts as well, and their experiences, and encourage them and give them vision. So you did a good job. You probably spent more time with your wife, connecting in the heart than with Lewis, but you know, let's hope so. Anyway, you guys should get married someday. Yeah, thank you, Curtis. Really appreciate you did a great job, and we're impressed and overjoyed at what you've done and who you are and the progress you're making in your life, with your new wife. So. Obviously, the man in charge, David Bonet. You know, we've talked so many times, but thank you so much for all that you've done, all that you give to the school, to the students, the connection you continue to make with all of us. And most of all, I appreciate the carpool karaoke on the way to work in the morning. But,
Thank you.
this morning, Dave was doing whip my hair back and forth, wasn't it?
Yes. Can you do it for us now?
Oh, no, that's Dave. Dave does
Can you do it for us now?
I need to be in the car.
It's very special.
Oh, I like
we actually had we had a staff meeting where every meeting we would start with a song.
Yes, that
Whip
was
my hair back and forth. We put Dave and I put wigs on and did it.
Oh my God.
I think the rest of the staff didn't know
Right
what
for
in the world was going on.
Oh my God.
Well, I just want to again congratulate you all. You did very well. You all had your own challenges, and you also had your own journey with the Lord. And I was encouraged by, and was encouraged in this class, the journey that you've been on, the journey you've come through. So well done. Give yourselves a round of applause. Well, I'm going to invite Curtis to come on up. I think you have some last minute items, do you?
Yes.
I'm not sure who's online, but for anybody who was meant to graduate, we have your thing. So, yeah, everybody who's watching, family, friends, also any teachers. I know Rick Durasi was on the other SOM Live tonight, but I appreciate you giving your time and energy to all of us.
Yeah.
Curtis, some closing items.
Yes. Thank you, Gordon. As we just wanted to say to Gordon and Kathy, on behalf of the school and all of us, this place wouldn't be the same without you. It'd be so different. You guys are leading the charge, leading by example, and all of us have been impacted and will carry things you've given us and things you've stewarded for the rest of our lives. So we just want to honor you, say thank you so much, and for you guys that are leading the path. So big round of applause for Gordon and Kathy. We love you guys so much. And I just wanted to finish off as well, closing on behalf of Abby, Lewis, and I, to all you guys. It's really been a privilege leading you. It's been a privilege serving you. And we as staff, the three of us come into the small group leader role and pastoral leader role. To do our best to impact you, to help give you things and tools to help you live, an even better life. But classically, as we've given out to you, we've been impacted more than we've said we've given out to you. And each and every one of you have changed our lives, have inspired us, and helped us to be more like Jesus. So we want to thank you so much for being who you are, for becoming friends, and for becoming family with us. So we just honor you guys and say thank you for all of you. Great, and on that note, we just want to say a big thank you to everyone online watching. Big thank you to all you guys, and that's going to conclude the School of Ministry Spring 2021 graduation ceremony. So thank you for watching.